Mmm. Delicious. We're live. G'day, everybody. Welcome to the Dusty Bogan Show. I hope you can hear that little... What is it? It's night vibes. That's what we're listening to. We've got a little bit of night vibes happening. That's what I need as I slam a delicious, slowly sip a glass of milk. I don't have time for drinking booze hardcore anymore. What a shame. That's what happens when you have children, people. I'm growing up. And we're streaming this through Rumble and DLive and YouTube. So we're sort of back. Did that work? It's kind of like a test run. Still kind of like a test run. We're here. Yeah, DLive. DLive's good. It looks sharp too. Here we go. We've got our guest. Let's see if I can just turn this beats down. I don't know if you can even hear the beats. Riano Keegs, we're back.
What up, big fella?
Yeah.
Can hear the beats. Beats are going.
Nothing will stop us, bro. We are back. We've got like Rumble and we've got DLive and we're on YouTube. And it's been a long time, so it's like, who knows? People will be like, why would I tune in here? But we're having a crack because I'm getting excited, bro. Just with the news of Rumble was enough for me, eh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How Rumble has now, I don't know when it happened. Maybe it happened like a week ago. But they were like saying how you used to have to pay a subscription if you want to live stream. So now that's changed. So I got to jump on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So they've changed it from needing to pay to be able to go live to you have to have a certain amount of followers, kind of like YouTube.
Yeah, that's it, bro. 100 subs and it's like, bang, I'm away. Hey,
yeah, awesome.
guys. Yeah, Pat is cool. That must be coming through from YouTube. Yeah, we're starting it up. Here we go. Oh, did you drop out? I think we just lost Keanu Reeves. He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back. Here he is. He's back. Bang. He's back. Back to business. Oh, no. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, brother. Fucking internet.
His finger slipped, mate. He pressed the wrong button. All good.
I did. I tried to reply to Pat is cool, his comment, but it won't let me log in while I'm in your studio. Fucking stupid thing.
Do you have Rumble, bro? Do you tune into Rumble at all?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So I follow there's a few YouTube channels back over around 2018, 2019 during the Trump era.
Yeah.
That a lot of them, as it started to heat up towards the 2020 elections and after the 2018 midterms, they got suspended or cancelled off of YouTube, and they've all gone to like Rumble and those other free speech platforms, Truth and that. Yeah. So yeah, I follow a couple of people on the old.
That's it, bro. Like I seen
Rumble.
Revenge of the Sis. I don't know if you know them at all. And
yeah, I do. Yeah, they're one of the channels.
Yeah. Nightwave, Daywave. They're just like, I love them boys. They're solid as a rock. You know what I'm saying? And same with the Murder the Media boys. Because like when DLive was rocking, like you were saying, it happened around. I'm just gonna share this link around. Oh no, me boy's woken up. This is gonna be the challenge of like doing live streams. He wants me.
Go do what you need to do, brother.
Oh no. Will you hold down the fort for me?
I got the fort for you, mate.
Hold down the fort for me. I'll be back.
Sounds good, brother. No issues. Righto, everyone. So, just for everyone, Dusty's obviously not been able to do a lot of live streaming since he's had the boy. And we used to do the Thirsty Thursdays. I'd jump on with him every now and then. But now that we've got the Rumble, D Live, YouTube, and the StreamYard website going all together at the same time, I'm going to hit him up about looking at maybe doing maybe once a month or twice a month, jump on, do a chat, throw up some of the latest news that's been going on in the world. So if anyone's interested in that, just start following these channels. Follow along, send us a like, chuck your comments up so we can see what kind of content you'd like us to make. Paddy's cool, you like their stuff? Yeah, mate. Revenge of the Sith are awesome. Night Wave, Day Wave, they're pretty good as well. But yeah, so this will be a bit of a test live stream. We won't be on here for too long today. We'll get Dusty sorted, make sure his connections are running good, and do a little bit of a live stream here today. I'll let everyone know about me. So my nickname on here is Rianu Keeves. I'm a proud boy, second degree, and been following the group and since about 2016. I've been a big Gavin McInnes fan for a while. Followed a lot of the stuff that he did from back in the Vice days when he created Vice originally with the co-founder. And then have followed along him, Anthony Camilla. So when he's on his show as well. And then got into following the Proud Boys. I'm an Australian Army veteran. Served a tour over in Afghanistan. I was a tank commander who got attached to the Australian SAS and commandos driving Bushmasters, the armored vehicles for them over in Afghanistan, working with them, going out on jobs as a Bushmaster commander and driver. Was one of the top 5 highlights of my career. I was lucky enough that during my 6, nearly 7 years of service, got to deploy overseas, went on exchange to America, working with the United States Marines when we went from the Leopard tank that the Australian Army used to have to the M1 Abrams when we upgraded to those. I got the opportunity to go and work with the United States Marines on their M1s over in 29 Palms over in California. So they were sending guys over to us. They'd come here, do a stint up in Darwin where we were posted, and then we'd go and spend a few months over there in America. Got to do that a couple of times. England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales did a exchange with the Brits over there with their armored corps, and was a corporal. Had done all my sergeant's courses, and then got out and started working in the mines after nearly 7 years in the military. Worked in the mines for 2.5 years, and then had a car accident and lost both my legs below the knees. Wheelchair bound now, excessively overweight. Unfortunately, it's difficult with the pain levels that I've been having since losing my legs. It's been having a major ongoing issue with nerve pain and phantom limb pain. But I'm alive. Lucky enough that I got blessed with a second chance at life. Almost died. Probably should have died multiple times that day of the accident. But here I am. God graced me with a second chance at life, and now I get to live my life, look after my daughter when I get the opportunity to have her, and try and help my community, whether it's the veteran community or the Proud Boy community. Pat is cool. I can't highlight your message because I'm not the studio operator, but yeah, you don't have to be sorry about it, brother. I'm here. I'm alive. God couldn't get me. Not this time anyway. Must have had bigger plans for me. But yeah, no need to be sorry, brother. I'm blessed, mate. I'm so grateful that I got a second chance at life, and because of that, getting to have a second chance at life, got more involved with the Proud Boys, got to meet the chapter that I'm in and meet guys like Dusty. And I don't know if you guys follow some of the other guys that do live streaming, but there's a few Victorian boys and Southern Tableland boys that I've got to meet. It's been an awesome opportunity. Hey, Robert, good on you, mate. That's your message. Cheers, brother. Appreciate it. What kind of car you got there in your profile picture? If I have a quick look. Ooh, can't tell if it's a Nissan or a BMW. Pat is cool. Redemption is a beautiful thing, brother. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Yeah, I get I get to see my daughter grow into a beautiful young lady. She had a birthday in October, turned 13 this year. MX-5. Yeah, nice. Yes, the old MX-5. Is that one of the older late 90s, early 2000s MX-5s, or one of the newer ones that Nissan, not Nissan, who does the MX-5? Yeah, they released the MX-5. The newer one came out in the last 5 years or so.
Who's building a kit car?
Robert DeBecky.
Imagine.
I just noticed, and just noticed the car in his profile pic. Kind of looks like a Nissan or a bit of a BMW front end.
Yeah, it looks like a Beamer.
Yeah.
Mate, the secret's out. My boys need me to sleep. Nah. I've built this is the dad trap, bro. I'll tell you, it's the dad trap. When you got kids and then I put them to sleep every night. So when they wake up in the middle of the night or whenever, it's daddy.
Yep.
And I got to go save the day, which is all good. That's life. I'm bloody, cheers for fucking coming on tonight, Rihanna Keeves, We're back.
I love it, brother. I was just saying to the people that are listening that we should look at doing this like maybe once a month or twice a month. That way it's not too taxing, like having to have to do it every week. And we can organise a time, like maybe even start a little bit later so that the boys are out.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
Have a few sneaky beers. I'm on the milk tonight. I was like, I'm going to get on the beers. And my missus is like, no, you're not. I was like, fuck it. That's why what did I name it? Milk is good or some shit. That's
the milk is good for you. Yeah.
Milk is good for you. Mr. Genesis 10. Just get your missus to put them to sleep. I guess so. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like it is that easy, but
Yeah, it once you start doing it a lot, they get dependent on you. They have that dependency of knowing that dad's there when they wake up. Yeah.
It's sort of like the long way's the short way. So if I go in there, it's like 2 minutes and bang, they'll be sleeping. But if the missus does it, it's like fucking she could be in there for 20 minutes kind of thing,
Yeah.
Something like that. Bang, I got a few articles. I know it's been ages. I should try. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck a couple up, bro.
What have I got?
I've got a bit of time.
This must be check this shit out, bro. It's like a fucking ute. Oh no, we got the gut slider. We got a few articles. We got the gut slider. There's some new BMW ute. And then we got one on Musk. We've got a few here. This is the gut slider surfboard, bro. And I love it. I thought the name was fucking good. It's for the old boys who still want to get out there. You know what I mean? It's just like a glorified bodyboard, but maybe it's like easier or some shit. I love the name, but the gut slider.
Yeah. I could use that.
Australiana.
Get you to fucking drag me out there, and then I'll just use that to fucking pull me back in.
Yeah, fucking
I don't need legs for that one. I just got me gut, and I got plenty of that.
Yeah, all you need is a good gut, mate. Like a nice layer of blubber. This old boy looks like he's fucking pretty fit.
Having a blast. Yeah,
He's
look at the
having a
fucking
go.
look at the triceps on him.
The triceps. He could still fucking knock you out if you gave him a bit of lip at the pub, mate.
He probably would too, the old boy.
He's got the budgie smugglers on, mate, and he's ready to go. He's all tanned up and ready to fucking. You got to watch these old boys, eh? They'll fucking they take shots of testosterone and shit these days. They're fucking juicy. There he is.
Wow.
There's the gut slider.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is like these old boys. We got these old boys at my work. Like I'm a concreter, and we've got our fair share of dudes who are like 60 fucking in their 60s, bro. They're holding on,
Yeah.
they're working hard. And they've done well, like they've done well with their money. So they could like retire early and tap into their super and just be like, fuck this, right off into the hills. But they've left themselves with no mates, no hobbies, and they've just been workaholics. You know what I mean? They've built a fucking trap around their life.
Oh, bro. Yeah. No, that sounds like my granddad, man. My granddad was a back in his 20s, he was a merchant navy.
Yeah.
Worked on the ships, traveling around for nearly a decade, and then became a postie, driving
Sick.
post trucks. So not like the little moped, but the full semi trailers doing interstate travel. And
Yeah.
he did that from his 30s and 40s up until his nearly 70s, man. And what we found is after he stopped, it's like he had no purpose.
Mm.
And like it was like he'd help look after me, but I was still in my like late teens by then, 15, 16. So he didn't really have a lot to do, but he'd help look after me if there was something needing done while mum was at work, because I had the single mum, obviously. But yeah. And then once I'd joined the army and my younger cousins were interstate, he just slid down the hill until the point that he had dementia. And it was a really aggressive early onset dementia. Within 3 months, he was dead.
That's yeah, fucking terrible shit. The dementia.
Oh, it was horrible, mate. To see in 3 months him going from a healthy old boy to couldn't live by himself, had to be in a care home, and he had lost so much weight, no idea who anyone was, and then seeing him on his deathbed and watching him pass away, it was fucking horrible. Dementia, man, and that's especially that aggressive early onset dementia, fucking horrible.
And like,
man.
How do you combat dementia? I mean, we got this great Uncle Bill. He's passed away now. I think he died 2 years ago, but we seen him. We used to catch up all the time with my missus' granddad. It was like his brother-in-law. And we seen him at the shop, and he's like, we're like, Bill, how you doing? And then he's just like, not good. Fucking Auntie Gwen's got dementia. And we're like, you joking? And like, we seen him, and he's like at a shop, and he's like, she's in the food court. We went and said, g'day. She remembered us, right? And he's just like, you watch, I'll come back. She doesn't even know who I am. And she comes back, and she's treating him like this is like her husband of like fucking 40 years, something insane. Yep. And she thinks it's like his carer or something like that. You know,
or a complete stranger. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like hectic, man. And it was just like, fuck. Here's like Bill. Bill was this old stud. He was like 80. He must have been like 85 when he passed, but he'd wear like fucking Tommy Hilfiger shirts and like gold chains. He had like
real
gold teeth. Yeah, like fucking
real
mad cunt, like Ray-Bans on. He just looked the piece, you know. So I'd be like, Bill, you're a fucking legend. It kind of old bloke, you shake your hand and crush your hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mad old boy. Loved him. But like, I don't know. I don't think my concreter workmates, I don't think they'll go the way of dementia, because they're just like fucking wild, mate. Like they are keen, buzzing around. But it's this thing, like even this. So I went yesterday. I know we're just like going down some fucking drifting down some rabbit's holes here, right? The Gut Slider has inspired us. The Gut Slider surfboard, which is designed for old cunts who are going in retirement. I met this dude, my mate's dad. We went to my mate's kid's birthday yesterday. I think he was 4 years old. And granddad was there, same shit. He's just retired, first year out of retirement. And I'm like, how you going? What are you doing? Last year, the kid's third birthday, this old boy reckons, he's like, I'm thinking of joining Extinction Rebellion and doing some political activism. And I was just giving him shit. I was like, oh, so you'd be keen on nuclear energy then? Let's save the planet. And I was just like, I'm like, no, I'm with you, mate. Like, let's fucking save the planet. Let's go nuclear, like, straight up, like.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh.
Must be a bit of an old hippie, eh?
Yeah, a bit of an old hippie. He was telling me about his veggie patch and shit. And I'm like, what do you got growing in there, mate? You know? He smokes half and he eats the other half of his veggie patch.
Perfect.
Fucking... What do we reckon, Mr. Genesis 10? Have you seen Kanye calling out his MK Ultra handlers? He is saying that they are going to kill him before he stops his mad rants. Fuck yeah, I heard something that there was like a leaked text. I'll say leaked text. See if it comes up. Bang. September. Nah, it's not coming up. I guess he's tweeting his shit up everywhere, eh? Bang, nah. I've heard about this stuff, but at Kanye, he's been like, he shared, I think it was on his Twitter. He shared
shared that movie, like documentary about Jewish people or some shit. Him and Kyrie Irving, the NBA player. They shared that documentary about the Jews, yeah. And Kyrie Irving, the NBA player, has been getting a fucking mouthful at his press conferences. And he's like, look, I'm just one person. Like, what I put on my Twitter is what I put on my Twitter. It may not be my opinion. I'm just putting it on there. Like,
who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I didn't make the video.
He's just sharing it.
Go at me, yep.
Yeah. It's kind of funny with Kanye with all this fucking, you know, it's like this funny thing. So, like, if I was to, like, you know, honestly, if I'm to interact with, like, say, the anti-Jew crowd, like the modern day neo-Nazis who are like, the Jews are behind everything, and like that gets pretty tiresome, and you're like, whatever, mate, like, is this an excuse for you to just like be on the dole and not fucking, you know, not fucking have a crack at life? But then when you listen to Kanye, so then I guess this is like my ignorance. Like, I'll admit it. Maybe I've been a very ignorant bloke and writing off a lot of people, because when Kanye says it, it's like, oh, okay, like he's actually dealing with all this top end, you know, fashion, music, whatever, social media.
He's in that elite circle. He's in
the elite circle, and it's like everyone icing him as a Jew, and then you're like, dude, it's like, of course,
not everyone is, but he does have a good point. Did you see the spreadsheet that he had in a video? So there was a video, I don't know if it was TMZ or one of those other celebrity news outlets. He was having a chat to someone, and he pulled up on his phone like this spreadsheet, and it has literally, like, out of all the fashion, music, the fashion and music industry that he deals mainly with, like 90%, 90% of the people that run it, they're Jewish. Okay. You can point that out. It doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic.
No.
It's when you start going into send them to the chambers and hang them from
Getting
a
out of
noose and that
control.
kind of that's when
Yeah,
it starts.
that
getting
shit's
out of
where like
control.
I hear that and I'll be like, yeah, you're just like, okay, no one. It's like listening to the radical left where they're like, if you don't agree with everything we say, you're gonna get cancelled. And you're
There's
just
no
like, that's some
nuance in it.
scary shit.
There's no
Like whether
nuance
it's
in
the
it.
radical left or the radical right, like, and I think they're all super minorities, but like when you get someone that crazy where they're like off to the gas chamber, or this other cunt who's like,
The
you
radical
should be
right,
cancelled, and you're just like, fuck's sake, they're all fucking mad. Like,
the radical right is more of a minority than the radical left.
Yeah,
because who has a bigger influence on culture and society today? The radical left or the radical right? Absolutely the radical left.
Fucking going crazy,
because
mate.
It's infested every industry in the world, whether it's corporate, whether it's administrations in government, whether it's
like middle.
fashion,
there's like middle
music.
management.
Yeah,
Middle management HR where they're like pushing political correctness and like critical gender theory, critical race theory into the HR
it started
department.
decades ago. It started decades ago when the activists in the late 70s and the 80s started getting into positions in university and schools. And so young minds are so susceptible to someone that, like a teacher that they see every day bringing up these agendas, starts to infest their mind, especially when a lot of parents are working, both parents are working.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And they're only getting a couple of hours at night with their kids.
Yeah.
So they're
getting lucky, like I've got my missus.
But back then, bro, there was no social media either. So it was only through the school system. Then the 2000s, internet, technology progressing as advanced as it has over the last 2 decades, it's made it such an easier way to promote propaganda.
For sure. It's like, strange thing, bro. We're the generation, or we're like, I was finishing high school and it was like, they had them 3 phones. Remember the 3 phones?
Yeah.
I think they were like, that was the first kind of phone with the internet.
iPhone
and
3.
I remember the boys showing up, check out these grainy as fuck videos.
Yeah.
People were like on the, oh shit, what were they using? MySpace and all this.
Yeah.
And it dropped. Like, I remember my missus, right? Like, I went to America on holiday 2015. I did not have Facebook. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have shit. And we got back because I was like, we're over there. I didn't even really, I had a phone. This is how fucked I was, bro. I was such a boomer. I had a phone, but I never put credit on it. I was just like, call me if you want me. And my SIM cards would like die every 6 months, and I'd have to
yeah, because you'd never been updating it with credit.
Such a fucking idiot,
cheapskate,
right?
A cheapskate, brother.
Didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm not a part of this system. And then we went to America, and I'm annoying the fuck my missus. Like, give me your phone. I want to take photos. I want to fucking film this. And then we get back from America. Like, we went there for a month, and she's like, "You're getting a fucking phone. You're getting the internet." She makes me a Facebook account. So this is the fuck thing. She made a Facebook account, I think 8 months earlier, and she had like already made an account and added my friends, and there was like Messenger. She had Messenger messaging my mates, pretending to be me. And I jumped on it, and I'm like, "Oi, boys, I'm on Facebook. It's me." And they're like, we knew it was your missus.
The missus, yeah.
Because I'm just, I guess they like knew just by my tells. I guess I'm a horrible communicator. Like when it comes to I reckon when it comes to this and having a beer, I'm all good. That's why I prefer a man on the street or doing live. I'm not a fucking texter. I'm not a chat person. My Telegram chats and shit, it's like, it's not necessarily me. Like, it's something.
No, that's a what does Joe Rogan say? A post and ghost. A lot of the stuff
I'm a
that
post and ghost.
But that's the way it should be for a content creator, because otherwise you get too deluged with all the comments, the reactions, Like, it's like, yeah, okay, I understand that. What I don't
I've
understand,
tried to, and I'm just like, I'm fucking this up. I'm just
you
like,
don't get.
I'll like dig
I
a
hate.
fucking hole.
I hate texting, bro. I'd rather do webcam
Yeah.
or what do they call it? Video chat on your phone or whatever instead of text message, because
Yeah.
you don't hear the inflection in the tone. You can't read
Text
body
is
language
good.
with someone's texting. I fucking hate it, bro. I hate it.
Text is good for like, meet at this pub this time, bang.
Oh
That's
yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's
Not to have a
me.
full
Like,
conversation with, like you said,
nah.
post and ghost. That's it,
Post
bro.
and ghost all the way. The boys do the post and ghost. That's my telegram. It's like, and like, this is the thing about my missus. When this is what happened, bro. She gave me the Facebook, and it was when the Reclaim Australia protests and shit were happening. Remember that?
Yep.
2016, around
Yeah,
there.
2016,
And I was like,
2017,
bang!
yeah.
I had to get involved. This whole internet just blew up on me, and I was like, this is fucking sick. I loved it. And then it was like I started making videos and shit, and she was just like, my missus was like, what have I done?
Oh yeah, I bet she regrets it now.
Unleash the beast, mate. I was just like, this is fucked up. I'm like sharing the most, like, even in all my church, like I'm joining church chats, like I'm on their pages, I'm spamming fucking terrible, horrible articles about how fucked up Islam is, or like just being a right cunt, like probably like being a right fucking spam and troll weirdo. But I'm better to do the interviews. Bro. I'm better to talk to someone, man, on the street, or do a live stream and banter. Like that's where I'll probably like my best form of communication for myself, where I'm not gonna fucking absolutely fuck it up and piss people off. It's like at this level we can get on. I can get, if you watch, like I've just started my TikTok. My missus actually, she was like, just get a fucking TikTok. And it's sort of gone off its head a little bit. One video got 250,000 Ks, bro, on that shit.
Yeah, awesome, bro. 250,000 views. That's good.
It's mint.
Especially if you haven't had it that long. Because I've seen a couple of the short clips that you've thrown up on there, and that's the way to do it, man. Just get those 1 to 2 minute clips out of your man on the street, censored videos. Chuck them up on TikTok. Chuck them up on Facebook. Get them up on Telegram.
Because we're talking the other week, we even talked to commies, bro. So we had like fucking cunts with like communist hammer and sickles, and you know this is the thing. When you're there and you're talking to people, myself, you're like two real people, and you're talking, and I'm just like, what do you believe? What do you believe? What do you believe? What do you believe? I'm like, so we're not like actually. I was like, you're not really a commie, bro, because that's not what commies believe. So they've got like a weird form. I'd say this guy would be like, if communism ever came in, he's like the guy the commies are chopping first. He's like, he's the stupid idiot, you know,
useful idiot. Yeah, that's what.
Even though the guy was a nice guy,
he
was a nice guy, good to talk to. Probably had some he had like a utopian ideals where he wanted to make the world a better place. And I was just like, brother, that's all good. I get it. And the problem is that we have the capacity for evil and corruption, and that's where communism and fascism, or any system that goes towards authoritarianism, you know, it just goes that way, where like the psychopath fucking steps in and just you know, all these good intentions just fucking dissolve and turn into tyranny.
It's not the good intentions that turn into tyranny. It's the sociopath and psychopaths that use the chaos of bringing a totalitarianism or authoritarianism regime in, take advantage of that chaos. And they'll preach those ideals, but they don't believe them.
No.
They're only doing it so that they can get power and control. And that's all they want, the sociopaths and the psychopaths. They want power, they want control, they want to be the ones at the tops reaping the benefits, and they don't care who suffers underneath them. And that's where the
this is where
pain and suffering of it.
This is where Western civilization, if we have genuine democracy and it's real and we can vote them out and we can get rid of them, and if rot sets in, you can say you're done.
Democracy is fake, bro. No, democracy
is fake. Seems like it is. Like
the only legitimate way. The only legitimate way that you can have a representative government system is a republic. The United States,
as in you would have a Bill of Rights that would
Bill of Rights,
limits the power of the government, and it's like these are the freedoms enshrined in a constitution. Bang.
Yeah, whether they're creator given, God given, whatever, like they're rights that are imbibed in you since birth. Doesn't matter whether you're a citizen or not. If you're in that country, you have those rights. You have the amendment, the Bill of Rights, and that's it. And that's where it stands. And it's meant to be a representative. What's the word?
Voting in your constituents to like lead and to do the practical sides of managing a country.
Your representatives are meant to represent your city, state, town, whatever wherever they're from, but not with their own agenda. It's meant to be what the people of your town, city, state vote for. And along the way it's been corrupted to fucking hell, bro. But democracy in other countries is fake. It's fake as fuck, bro. Australia's democracy. Oh yeah, we have a democracy. Like fuck off.
Two-party system.
It's a one-party system, bro. It's a one-party system.
It's two sides of the same coin.
It's not even the way I look at it. Is you look at a bird. The body in the middle is government. Each wing is connected to that body. You got the left wing and the right wing of the bird. You got the left wing and the right wing of the government, but they're connected to that same body, which is the body of governance, the body of control, the body of power. Yeah, it's democracy's fake as fuck.
It's like the body's like the deep state. It doesn't matter who votes in or votes out. The deep state's
it's got its own brain.
It's the middle management. Brain. It's the it's the pre-funded departments. It's the machine that's always ticking. It's not like when the government changes, every management position changes. Like,
no, fuck no.
But like, so this
I know blokes that have gotten out of the army and they've gotten what are they called? APS, Australian Public Servant jobs within the defence force or state or federal government. Not as an army guy anymore, but as a public servant. Doesn't matter when the government changes. Like he still goes up the ranks. If he's holding a fucking supervisor position or a manager position, doesn't matter who's in, left or right. He stays in that place because that's where he's employed at.
Unless you're Elon Musk and then you step in and you're sacking fucking every dog.
Oh yeah, that's been brilliant, eh? That's been so fucking brilliant.
So then do you think it's like, because like, I always thought, so it's like, let's talk about the ideals, because it's idealism. It's like I was saying about the commie. The commie has his idealistic version where he thinks this will be his utopia. But
they're not true commies.
They're not true commies. And you'll probably have the same thing with the National Socialists. The same thing would be with the National Socialists. Like they have a utopian idea and it would be perfect if they did this and that. And like they probably, if you boil them down and you talk to them, it's like they're probably also watered down or they're not 100%. It's always not as hard. The hardcore left and right, even communicating with them, they're probably not as actually crazy as they're probably half cut, but they're not as fucking crazy as the mainstream media and the fucking everyone's making them out to be. But then this is the thing. Then there's like,
what's going on, Will?
Position. G'day, Will. if it's like my position where I'll be like, I'm a Western chauvinist, and then am I also talking about idealism? If I'm like, well, genuine, real democracy where you do vote in like representatives and you had, federal and state electorates where you voting in and a majority gets, you know what I mean? And there's genuine parties and genuine democracy that works. And if there is corruption, you can vote them out. And there's an upper house and a lower house, and there's checks and balances. And it should give us it should stop authoritarianism. It should like slow the process of shitty rules and shitty laws getting put in place. So that we're at this point where we're beginning to doubt the system, and people
hang on before you go on. So everything you said about the voting people in and out, stopping the socialists or communists or authoritarianism or whatever, checks and balances, correct. But you're basing all that on the written rules and regulations and laws of government. What then happens is the people make the changes, but they may not make the written changes. They just interpret it into whatever fucking agenda they want it to go.
Even if you get good legislation and you fight and you battle and you get it in, and then it's like 10,
you've got to have good people that follow.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, because like our high courts will test the laws and they'll like interpretate it. Like that's sort of the way it's going.
They will.
Sort of like with the gay marriage thing, that they like put it forward towards the high court, and then they were like, yes, under the Constitution, our interpretation is that it can happen. I think they made that decision, and then we did like the postal vote survey and they voted on it. Yeah. But it was like technically some people who are like constitutionalists will say it was unconstitutional, blah, blah, blah. But
well, that depends on which constitution you're looking at, because Australia's constitution is weak as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what we have in terms of free speech in the Australian constitution?
I think it's like limited to you're allowed to criticize like the policy directly or something like that.
Nope. It's implied.
It's implied.
Yeah, and the only reason that Australia or Western society that isn't the United States with their freedom of speech have freedom of speech or freedom of expression is because the UN Human Rights Commission have freedom of speech, freedom of expression for everyone. Yeah, but Australia's constitution itself does not even have freedom of speech or expression written into it. The High Court America, in Australia said it is implied. It's implied. Meaning
it's true. It's a fact
of the Constitution.
So like Western civilization has gone the way. Like America, they had the War of Independence. They created their Constitution or the Bill of Rights, and like forever, Western civilization, that was like the gravitational pull of Western civilization, where we sort of, obviously America was the superpower, so we got pulled towards that, and there was like a respect for freedom of religion and freedom of speech and a free market and democracy, and like so Western, I do believe like Western civilization, the peaks of it is that Constitution and then freedoms, you know what I mean, that we can look to as shining lights of freedom, and then we could come together as like we're all different people.
It may not be
come together united in the freedom, like the freedoms we have to be individuals unites us, that we could be proud patriots of our flags and anthems and nations, because it's like, we are free here to worship the gods we want to or the God we don't have, and to speak our mind and to, have a vote and to be able to earn a living, unhindered capitalism, the free market competition, all these things. This is what I'm saying. Is it still real? I believe it's real. Like, I want to pioneer and still believe it's real. I still want to look to the ideals of Western civilization and look to that as a shining light and say, this is the direction we need to go. And like, am I just as am I idealistic just like that commie I interviewed? Do you know what I'm
No.
saying?
No, because the documents, the written law, rules, regulation, legislation of the peak of what you want idealistically, which is the amendments, Bill of Rights, that like those are still 250 years later. A lot of those
Still
things are
functioning.
not just functioning, but needed for a free society.
Yeah.
So it's those rules, regulations, legislation, Bill of Rights, amendments have lifted more people out of either poverty or whatever.
Without that constitution and that shining light, we're essentially all slaves. Like before that, you were under feudalism, you're under a dictator, and it was like whatever. Was there even property rights? It was like bloodlines, bro. It was all bloodlines. It was you talk about racism, they're all about racism and fucking groupthink and all this bullshit. Well, it's like pre fucking Americana, the birth of Western civilization. It didn't exist. We're all under the dictatorships. We're all under the system of, it was fucked. I mean, here's a thought. What's more in touch with reality of like the reality of nature is biggest, strongest, baddest can win and dominate. And in nature, yes, the alpha needs to have a coalition of, has to be, if an alpha to really lead needs to have compassion and have a coalition of like Bravo males or other alpha males, and they create a hierarchy structure. So like maybe that's like the laws of nature, whether that's
hierarchies are needed.
Hierarchies are good.
Hierarchies
like that's
are
all
needed.
good, and it will naturally happen. And so then you look at it like you go like, well, was feudalism, was the systems pre Americana, American Constitution, the birth of Western civilization? Is all that was happening was just like hierarchies? Is that what was happening? Or is
they
the
were
reality
corrupted, that they were corrupted hierarchies?
Yeah, they were super corrupted. Yes. And I guess it's like, that's the thing. If you don't, this is sort of what happens if we look to like, let's say Africa or outside of the West, it's like countries, the rot sets in and it comes a point that the people do have enough of it. They uprise and then they say like, kings. We're fucking done. They kick them out.
Kings.
Yeah. I mean, it happens everywhere. Bro. It happens everywhere. And if there's enough corruption, eventually the people rise up and they say, this is not good. But then what happens is there's harsh instability, economic disaster, and the people probably suffer even worse for fucking decades and decades. You know what I mean? Like that's the drama and the problem with any kind of authoritarianism, where if you have a communist, fascist, dictator, whatever, it's like there will come a point where the rot sets in, the corruption sets in, there will be a civil war, and you're going to have just fuckloads of suffering. So it's like democracy, you can sort it out with a vote, a peaceful transition of power, if it's real, if it's fucking real. But then, so the point is, here's the point.
The point checks and balances of corruption need to be unbiased. So
it needs to be legitimate.
Not just legitimate, they need to be look at the Lady Liberty. She has a blindfold. Why? So she's not biased against who she's judging
and she's
against.
Got the justice.
Yep.
She's got the scales of justice, and I'd say the sword of truth. Does the sword represent truth?
I think it's
justice?
Truth. Yeah,
truth. It's got to be truth.
Yeah, it's the scales of justice and the sword of truth. But the fact that she's blindfolded shows that there shouldn't be any bias. So it shouldn't matter whether the checks and balances of corruption are used on the left or the right. There should be no bias in how they're applied. And that's the issue. You get people. It's people that are the issue, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm
like
almost at the point where I'm so black pilled that I just want this timeline that we're on to speed up. Like, bring it on, bro. Let's go. Let's get through it. Let's make the fucking catastrophe or the next apocalypse in the next 10 days. Let's get fucking through it and then get out the other side so that we can improve. Because at the moment, like Mr. Genesis 10, the elites are Fabian socialists. They will use consumerism to enslave the masses while they slowly gain more and more control. Brilliantly said, brother. Brilliantly said. That's exactly what they're doing.
Well, we're in like, none of us are in any positions of power. We're just like the working class, blue collar, and whenever like
I'm not even that brother anymore.
yeah. So it's like such a challenge. And I see it with the young people, like you see it with the people communicating, and we're all like fucking, it's a situation where it's so fucking hard. To even make
to get
a living
through to them. Well, even not just to make a living, to get through to them, to show them that there is propaganda in the content that they consume every day. A lot of them don't even realize that it's propaganda. Mr.
And
Genesis,
the left and right divide is probably just.
Yeah, no, go on. Yeah, the left and right divide.
Like the left and right divide, it's probably in itself just propaganda to, blind us, pit us against each other while, like, we're
depending how far each side of, depending on how far of each side of center you go, yes. Like the full far left, full far right, yes, they're propaganda. Dude, it's almost like a horseshoe that's almost touched with how far left and far right are.
But then isn't the middle, like, because I'm seeing like Albanese, ScoMo, and they're just like the same thing, doing the same thing, and they're like, we fucking, they're just like agreeing on everything.
What is that? But what
they're
does
not
that
like
have to say?
Overly extreme. They're just like control, keeping the peace, keeping control.
Two wings of the same body again, bro.
We'll give you this little thing, and then it's like, well, interest rates are going up, and the power bills are going to go up 40%, and you're just like, what? Like,
yeah, you made all these comments and statements Albanese did about coming in, about how he's going to improve things for everyone, but it's not changing. No. Just quickly, Mr. Genesis 10 says full accelerationism. Yeah, bro, full blown. I'm that fucking close, bro, to being so black pilled that I want it to just.
Isn't that what Klaus Schwab's? Isn't that what Klaus Schwab's in this Great Reset? Essentially, they were like, this was their moment to reset everything. Yep. So you've got all these people who are essentially they're at the same. They're kind of accelerationists, as in they're sitting there and they're waiting to step in and say, this is our moment to fucking mold this world in their vision of utopia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do
you know what my theory is that we have we've had such a slow treadmill towards what the accelerationists want that it's like losing like 0.01% of your body or soul or consciousness every day. And so it's harder and harder on that slow treadmill to wake people up to what's really happening. So I'm almost at the point where I go, just fucking do it. Like, get to full accelerationism, and then that jump from the slow treadmill to holy shit, we're getting hit with it fucking hard is going to wake more people up and break them out of the matrix. That's like, yeah, I'm close to that, bro. Like, I've still got hope. I still hope for Western society and the ideals and the opportunities it brings for everyone. And B3 says we're just lucky our starting position in Australia isn't as bad as most of the world. Exactly.
Yeah, like the whole world's gonna suffer way worse than Australia. Like, I'm
fucking
sure
oath,
they
yeah.
are. Like, I'm sure right now the fucking dudes in Africa and
If
India
if
and
it's if it's
Asia and shit
costing
are,
if it's costing you $40 more to fill up your car in Australia, it's gonna be $400 more in fucking Africa to fill your car up. Like, fucking
yeah,
oath.
yeah. It'd be fucking hard as. So then, like, this is the thing.
One of
Is it
my interpreters from Afghanistan is going through it at the moment over there. Like, he's got no work, nothing. He's got to go back to being a fucking opium or weed farmer again.
Yeah.
Like,
And what choice does he have? That's the
he
problem
doesn't
of
have a
like
choice.
collapse,
Yep.
but like that's what I was saying. Like, if the system becomes so corrupt, and then if there's some kind of uprising or whatever, the system gets toppled or there's
It'll come.
radical
It'll come.
change.
It'll come from people not having a choice.
Yeah. And then people suffer even more. So that, hey, let's go back to like the ideals of, say, the American Constitution. Are they more in line with the reality of nature than the system of authoritarianism? Do you know what I'm saying? Because like pre-American Constitution, that's all there was. There was authoritarianism, and you know, you're lucky if you just pay your taxes, they leave you alone, whatever, or they send you to fight for them and die for them. Essentially, that's all that was happening, you know. And then it's like under the system of an American Constitution where you have your rights enshrined, all that really does is you've got to pick yourself up by, you've got to grind it out, suck it up. But because you've got your freedoms, you know, what you're working towards and what you got in life is it's yours. You're free to do it. So you're more motivated to pursue your happiness. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the freedoms, it's like, well, at least I'm free. I'm not burdened by red tape, green tape, rules, political correctness. I'm not overburdened by taxes. I can go out here, I can earn, I can work hard. I can do it. It's like,
but people have to have that mindset, and
because it's not. This is the challenge where I can't see
the entitlement amongst youth today would, if that collapse did happen, and we got to the point where we had to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, like that's why I worry about the future for my daughter and her kids. Like, my daughter's only 13. Yeah. I'd feel bad for that's why I'm not at full-blown black-pilled full accelerationism, because I have a kid. She's 13. Like, how she's going to get through when she leaves school, whenever that happens, whether she wants to go to uni or not. Like, and then what's going to happen if she wants kids? Fuck, bro. Like, I thought it was bad enough when I was a teenager, like joining the army and then have to work, do the hard yards.
Say like, so I mean, like now that I've got 2 kids, it's kind of funny. Now I've got 2 kids, I realized that I kind of didn't know shit. And like what I thought was hard was fucking easy. And when you're like sleep deprived and you're like tired as fuck and you got to be nice as to your missus and kids and patient, you know, so you got to like
I'll tell you, the army prepped me for that. The amount of sleep deprived nights and treating the guys in my tank and other tanks that I worked with fucking prepped me for having a kid, bro. Absolutely.
That's
but yeah,
mad.
you're completely right. Like,
I'm
the sleep
glad,
deprived nights.
I guess you just like tested by fire and you learn, and then it's like, oh shit, and then it's like, I'm not even saying I'm doing it like great. Like I could be a better husband and a better father, of course. And then you've got to like, I like value my income and my work and the opportunities I have now. Also, I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually grateful to earn this money. So I want to do a good job. And then you're so fucked. Do you know what I mean? You're like tired as fuck. So then it has this flow-on effect, but because then I'm like, Like, I'm not having a beer, bro. I was like, I'm not drinking. I'm having a glass of milk,
Yep.
mate. Because now it's like you get tired as fuck. But you value working harder because you now, like, I'm providing for my wife and kids. And then it's like, well, I've got to look after myself more so that I can do the work hard, and have the sleepless nights and be kind, be nice. And it's like I've been expanded. That's why, like, when I had my first kid, bro, I was like, oh shit, I got my job at Censored TV. I'm concreting, and I was like, I'll still live stream, bro, as well. I'll still live
Yeah.
stream. And then I'm like, oh fuck, I had no idea what I was
Dude,
talking about.
every time you told me before you had your first kid that you were like, oh yeah, we'll still live stream once a week and we'll get on the beers every Thursday. I was like, yeah, I told you,
didn't
like,
know
I'll
shit.
be there. I'm like, but you don't know shit, bro.
I
Like,
didn't
you
know
say
shit,
it
bro.
now. You say it. You said it then. You were gonna do it every fucking Thursday.
Yeah,
even though
yeah,
the
I couldn't
kids
do
here.
it,
I
bro.
was
I
like,
couldn't do it.
bro.
I
I knew
fucking died. I
inside.
had to burn off. I had to burn that. That got
Burnout. Oh,
burnt
the
off.
burnout
Yeah,
from it.
yeah, oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
fucking oath, bro.
But then now I feel like I do have more capacity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like
Oh
I had
yeah.
to like burn that shit, had to melt off me. Like
Trial by fire,
it
bro.
was just, yeah, it was just like I had no fucking idea. And then now I'm like, okay, cool. I've like fixed up. I'm probably healthier. I'm probably fitter. I'm a bit more wiser. I've got more capacity. I still have more room to grow. But it's like, yeah, I think like I can do
But you've
more.
absolutely grown from it. Absolutely.
I've fucking
Like, yeah,
grown from it.
that's the way of the world.
So then this is what's gonna this, I guess, because I will have to wrap it up, but this is where we all need to go. We have to become stronger, more efficient, better through the situations that this world is going through now, where it's like the cost of living and the pressure. And I've been doing that. I've been like, oh, I've got all these financial opportunities. That's cool. And then
But
inflation's so high, but then you're
we've got
like,
that mindset, but others don't. That's the issue.
and then there's like there's more opportunity to be generous because more people are suffering. And it's like, well, we got to like rising to this occasion and having some kind of strength inside us and finding that strength in us to get through this. Because like everyone always said this. Remember the meme? It was like good times create weak men create bad times.
Hard times create great men create good times.
And that's where we are. We've got to become the great men. It's the only way. The only way through this is to be stronger, tougher to get through.
But it's the way they're doing it. It's like old matey said, the consumerism to enslave. How do you evolve or die, brothers? Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We've got to, but you've got to have that mindset. You've got to be somewhat broken out of the matrix where you're not a consumer, where you're not fucking looking at TikTok every fucking break and spending all afternoon after school like the youth are on TikTok or whatever. Like,
that's what I said, bro. When I created my TikTok, a few of the boys are like, "What are you doing on TikTok?" And I'm like, "Everyone's red pill. Everyone's
reaching
red
the
pill
roof.
on Telegram, bro. I got to go back into the matrix."
Yeah,
that's sort of what we're doing. Like, if we're going doing live streams, and I know we're not going to be reaching. We got like no one watching us on Rumble. 2 people watching us on Rumble. 1 person on D Live. Maybe 8 people on YouTube. Who gives a fuck? But we need to get. Like, hey man, I feel like.
But you start small. You've got to start small. Like no one breaks in a fucking 1,000 views or 10,000 views on their live streams. Like, unless you're part of the elite cronyism.
Yeah.
Where it's all padded numbers, where they've got bots watching you and commenting. Yeah. Like this kind of content, you start small. You start with 10, 15, 20 people. Like my Twitch channel, where I do music and video games and stuff. I started that with 1 follower and grew it to 75 in a couple of months. yeah, maybe I get 2 or 3 views, 2 or 3 people viewing for the hour or 2 hours that I'm on. But the more I do that, the more it starts getting promoted out. So the more
Mm.
constant, especially with Twitch, the more constant you're on there, the more people you have consistently chatting and viewing at the same time, then forks out and branches off into other areas to create the opportunity for other people to see that you're online. So
Yeah,
it's
mad,
just
mad, mad.
yeah, it's just about time. It's about putting the time
Putting in
in.
the
Like,
time.
bro, once a fortnight, we should jump on here, have a mad yarn, hour or
For
2,
sure.
beers if we can. Like, fuck, it's great,
I'll
bro.
be
And it's
fucking sculling milk, mate. That's me
yep.
thing. I'll sit
I got
here with a
me
liter of milk
I
and
got me vodka and
drop
Mountain
me
Dew.
guts.
I'm fucking good to go.
Mad, bro. I'll rock like a glass of milk through me old beer bong.
Oh,
You know,
yep.
how I used to. Nah. But anyway, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for coming on. We hit a cool hour.
All good, brother. Anytime.
But yeah, I think we are at this point where hopefully I feel like as a father of 2 and a husband, and the world is not going great. It's gotten a lot harder in the last few years, but I feel like I've still got capacity to keep
To
this
grow.
going and to keep the chin up, and hopefully we can bring people some encouragement. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we've got to be tougher. We've got to be tougher. I've had to be tougher and wiser and leaner having children. So it's like that's the direction we have to go. We have to become, you know what I mean, even greater. Is the only answer is we have to become even greater. That's
Evolve
the
or
only
die.
way. Amen.
Evolve or die. And the way we do that is by coming on here and getting our voice out. May start with 5, 10, 15 people, but it'll grow once the message is heard.
Bloody oath. All right, brother. I'll catch you next time. And thanks everyone on DLive, Rumble, and YouTube.
You.